Aisha Conneh?
Yeah, I know Aisha Conneh.
Who is she? And what relationship she bears to you and the organization?
Say that again.
What relationship she bears to you and the organization of LURD in its formative years, 1999 to 2003?
Yeah, she was also an executive member of LURD, and she used to be my wife.
Okay, she used to be, so you know, Lord, she's your ex-wife.
Yeah, she's my ex-wife.
All right, the facts revealed, and that's why you can say whether or not that it was Aisha Conneh who gave LURD money and support that the organization of LURD, the top people wanted LURD. I wanted her to be the leader, but because of the tradition that she said, well, you know, for our tradition, give it to my husband. Is that true?
Yeah, I was not part of that, and law were not dealing with traditional things, and I can tell you, Aisha was executive member of LURD. She played a major role.
She played a major role.
She played a major role, but
and told them to give it to you.
No, we have not come to that. The fighter, under the leadership of Charles, they officially wrote a resolution.
Under the leadership of Charles
Then.
Okay.
Jumande as a chairman, Charles then as a chief of staff, wrote a resolution addressed to me, appointing me as chairman.
Now, could you just, before we go a little further, could you just tell us what was your role as chairman? Because, you know, you talk here, but you really haven't told us your real role in this thing. So could you please tell us, as chairman for LURD during that period, what was your role? And where did you travel, where did you go? As the chairman, please tell us your role.
As a chairman, I used to live in Fonjema to administer most of the activities of LURD.
The militia, the military, as well as the executive administrative?
Yeah, the executive administrative, you know, didn't want to come to Fonjema. And some of them were in Conakry, some of them were in Sierra Leone, some of them were in Ghana. And I was in Fonjema because I wanted to make sure Chancellor is out. I was very determined.
All right.
I was very courageous. I was very determined.
You are very committed. Do you know, as a leader and the chief administrator and the head of the military and all, do you know your commanders and the different places they were fighting, they were posted to get Taylor out?
Yeah.
Because he was in the mansion, executive mansion, White House or White Flower.
The chief of staff of the army was there to monitor the army, and I kept talking to him that, look, make sure don't target anybody. Even if anybody surrounded to you, leave them alone. We want Taylor out. And that was our objective.
But do you think that's what they did? That what they did?
Yeah, but anybody who did anything, I think you have the power, you have some authority. Let her come here and tell.
Okay, anybody, the reason why I ask this question, because we have put you now in the center of everything. You are the leader, as you said. You said, I asked you what were your functions. You are over the generals and everything. Your objective was to get Charles Taylor or Otto Monrovia as well, either to his house or the surrounding wherever he is. I place you here, the witness, on January 8, 2003. In fact, Reverend Jared Meyer Walker, superintendent, I think he's former now, superintendent of Lord Carey Mission, testified on the first day of opening live over Radio 2 and said that LURD used the Carey Baptist Mission that was founded in 1907 for boys and girls. That have been almost 100 years now. LURD used the facility Carey Mission to store the ammunition as an army base. That's number one. Armory. They burned down the administrative building that worth $100,000 and people were killed. Now, in view of that, I'm sure as the chairman for head of LURD, you are aware of the international violation, international humanitarian law, that you should not go to schools to use school buildings, to use students, and to store your armory. So are you aware of the international violation, not less than the Liberian violation? Are you aware of that? Did you tell them about that?
I'm not aware. And also, I can tell you.
You're not aware?
Yeah, if a minister carry on corruption, the person is not liable.
Okay, he brought us photos. Mr. Damate, Conneh,
my photo.
He brought that your photo. Now we've put you as the leader. You came here and you said you were the leader of LURD, and you gave the period for which you serve, and you gave what was your objective. He presented to us pictures of the place. He presented the skulls, and the administrative building is down. Not only that, he presented also the letter that he wrote you that was published in the newspaper for public knowledge.
Was that in the country?
He had a letter that you are writing now. I'm saying to you, this is your first time hearing it.
I didn't receive that letter.
Is this your first time hearing that?
It was never reported to me. I'm telling you, the chief of staff will be the best person. And I haven't been to Lakiri, and nobody told me that the chief of staff will be the best person to explain that.
All right, the chief of staff will be the best person for the liability for you who they had, and you know about it. They never heard about it.
The head will not always be responsible for everything. Everybody is answerable for your own thing. The president is not responsible for minister mistake.
I submit to you, Mr. Conneh, you just proclaimed that you were the head of LURD.
Audience, please.
You gave the period, and
LURD came to put democracy into place, and everybody had their own function in the organization. This was not a dictator organization. Everybody has a right, everybody has a function. We have an executive member that take decisions together, and nobody can answer questions for nobody in this organization. And we fought for democracy, and you know, when you introduce democracy, you don't impose anything on somebody for somebody else.
Democracy is different from the rule of law.
Yeah.
All right. Your chief of staff may be responsible, whoever responsible, but they have something called the principal and the authority. Okay. The next.
But who knows whether that place didn't get burned in 1990? Is there any proof? That's why the chief of staff is the best person, because I wasn't there. A war being literally around here since 1990.
Mr. Conneh, the property there, and he brought pictures, and if you say this your first time hearing, it's unfortunate that none of your people told you that since January 8 when he testified. Secondly, we observe also a witness testified here in this Centennial Pavilion on who is say that LURD had a marking game, and the location where they testified, where it occurred, and even one of your, that's why I asked you whether you know your generals and you know your officers, because if you know your officers and if they tell you something, you'll be able to say that is my officer or not. Anyway, that the LURD rebels attacked Artington and put most of the residents outside of their houses. The rebel told them to play a game with their lives. He said they were going to prepare a paper, and anyone who choose will be a lucky ticket. That means if you choose one number, the odd numbers, that means you will die, they will kill you. If you choose an even number, then they will mark you. So they get you to mark you so they can go to show to Taylor what law has done. So this particular witness got a number to mark, and the marker on her chest, all over her chest deep, and she sat right there and testified and showed the marks. You know, the camera took it up and it was live. So are you aware of that? And the person who did it was one cassette from LURD. Even she was able to identify one of the persons who did it. So are you aware that your people were also playing these games of marking people, and if you take odd number, they will kill them?
I'm not aware of that. And it's so good she can identify the cassette, and cassette will be the best person to come there and testify that.